Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about leaving Las Vegas. So, this was a first time watch for me, and let me tell you what, I am so glad that I checked this out because this movie was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so I've never seen the movie. I I just got put onto it recently. My coworker told me about it, so I've been meaning to watch it. And yeah, I rented it on Amazon, and I was absolutely blown away. Like I thought this movie, it was honestly amazing. It was so gosh darn good. I I don't know. I was so pleasantly surprised. Not that I didn't think it was going to be good, but just you know, it's like not often that you see a movie that's like great. Like I watch a lot of bad movies, I watch a lot of good movies, but this movie was great. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. It was the bee's knees. It was the cat's pajamas. I I'm a huge fan of Leaving Las Vegas. This great film. So jumping into a plot summary. The movie focuses on this character Ben, played by Nicolas Cage, and Ben is a screenwriter, and early on in the film he's fired from his job. He loses his job, and it's hinted at that he lost his family as well. So basically, he's down bad. He really has nothing left to live for, so he just packs up his stuff. He goes to Las Vegas, and his plan is he wants to drink himself to death because he's already a really bad alcoholic, and now that he has nothing to live for, he just wants to go to Vegas, drink himself to death. And while he's in Vegas, he meets this sex worker named Sarah, and they start this relationship. And it's kind of the terms of their relationship are that they're not gonna try to change each other. They're not gonna judge each other. Ben knows what Sarah does. He's not gonna try to save her from that life, and Sarah knows what Ben does, and he makes her like say that she's not gonna ask him to stop drinking. So that's that's the terms of their relationship. So they have this beautiful loving relationship, but they go through so many trials and tribulations throughout the film because it's just like their lifestyles are so insane that it's hard to maintain this relationship. So that is the basic plot summary. So the first point that I want to get into is, like I just touched on in the plot summary, how Sarah and Ben, they kind of from the get-go they have these terms to their relationship, like they're not gonna change each other. I really liked that, and I liked how they totally accepted each other. Like something that I really liked was when Sarah gave Ben this flask as a gift, and he was ecstatic. Because it just like showed that she just totally accepted him. And early on in the film, Ben, he's like, "Are you sure you want to go through with this and start a relationship?" Like, cause Sarah takes Ben in. She lets him like live with her, and like she basically is like taking care of him, and he's like, "Are you sure you want to live with me? Just so you know, like it can get ugly. Like at night I'm gonna have the shakes. I'm sick. Like are you sure you really want to live with me and have this relationship?" So yeah, they totally accept each other. Like of course Sarah is a sex worker, so when she's working, she has to, she's just, having sex with a bunch of random dudes, and just nonchalantly she'll be like, okay, I gotta go to work, and then, Ben's like, okay, like, bye, honey. You can tell he's hurt, but that was what they signed up for. And then, you can tell, like, Sarah will see Ben going through withdrawals. He'll be getting the shakes, like, extremely bad. He's pretty. Like, at night, he's like, his whole body is shaking. He's withdrawing just like sleeping. Like, he can't even go a full night sleeping without drinking. Like, that's how bad of, like, how dependent his body is on alcohol. That's how bad he is of an alcoholic. So you can tell they're both, like, kind of disturbed by each other's lifestyles, like, as the relationship goes on, but they do accept each other. Like I said, where, like, with that, I like that moment where Sarah gives Ben the flask, because she's just totally accepting, like, I know you're an alcoholic, but I still love you anyways. And, as the movie progresses, they do kind of call each other out. Like, Ben gets upset at Sarah for her line of work, and Sarah wants Ben to go to a doctor later on, but overall they do accept each other. And I thought that was it was really beautiful, and it was really interesting, because usually, in a romantic relationship, if your partner has some sort of self-destructive behavior or something, that's hurting them, you don't want them to be hurt. Like, you want them to be the best version of themselves. But they kind of had these interesting terms to their relationship, where it was from a loving place, but it was kind of tragic, because they had this, like, self-destructive behavior, and they just couldn't do anything about it. Like, so yeah, I really like that element of their relationship. And yeah, I was just saying tragic. Like, I like that this movie, the overall movie, the like, if you could just sum it up in 2 words, it would be like, this movie's it's a beautiful nightmare. I stole that line from the rapper Black Cray. I forgot what album it is, but he has this album, and on the one of the intros to the songs, he talks about, like, life being a beautiful nightmare. This movie is a beautiful nightmare, because their self-destructive behavior, like, some of the stuff that happens to them, it's disturbing to watch. But their romance, like, the love is really there. Like, it is like a true love that is showcased in this movie. But it's like, everything else is just, like, absolutely ugly. Like, this is, like, just a raw, real depiction of these lifestyles, and it is disturbing. So yeah, I like how this movie blends, like, tragedy and beauty. Like, it does it seamlessly, and it's very smooth, and I mess with it. And I like their romance, because you can tell that Ben really loves Sarah, and she probably never thought she would have, like, a steady love like that, because it's hard if if that's your profession. If you're a sex worker, you're getting with different people every night, and most guys would not be cool with that at all. Like, they would try to, like, save you from that lifestyle. They wouldn't just be like, yeah, you could just continue to do, like, they wouldn't be cool with you just continuing to do that line of work. But Ben still loves Sarah, like, even though like, she has a job that a lot of people would not that they might frown upon. Ben loves her for who she is. And then Sarah, she kind of has this caregiver role, where Ben, he's such a bad alcoholic. He really is sick. It's hard for him to function in his daily life. If he doesn't have a drink, he gets terrible withdrawals. He's passing out on the street. He's getting into bar fights. So Sarah takes on this caregiver role, and you can tell that it probably fulfills her. Like, she likes that she has someone to take care of. She likes that she has that responsibility. So I enjoyed that aspect of their relationship as well. Uh, Moving on, got to talk about the overall look of the movie, and goodness gracious, this movie was absolutely beautiful. Like, Las Vegas is a fantastic location, and they totally they just totally captured that Las Vegas feel. The movie was beautifully shot. Like, you had like all the shots that were set up were beautiful. The transitions were beautiful. Like, the editing, everything was, like, from a technical aspect, from a artistic aspect, it was great. I liked, you know, all of the night shots where you get to see all the neon lights and the Las Vegas Strip. That's beautiful. And what's interesting is, for a lot of the stuff that they filmed, they didn't even get, like, the stuff in the city. They couldn't even get permits, so they filmed it guerrilla style. They just went in with no permit, and they filmed it in one take. And if if you watch this movie, the performances are insane. And to realize that a lot of these scenes were filmed in one take, it like blows you away. You're like, is this real life? Like Nicolas Cage and Elizabeth Shue are that good that they could just kill it like that in the first take. And that's just extremely admirable. And I just like the fact that they film some stuff guerrilla style with no permits. I love that. Like, I don't know, it's just like that DIY approach that, like, you know what, we might not have the money, we might not have the permits, F it, we're just gonna, like, we're just gonna do it. Like, we might get in trouble, we're gonna take a risk, but we gotta get the shot. Like, I love that dedication, and I love that kind of where they're breaking the rules, because so many people are so, like, Hollywood, where they're like, well, we have to have a permit to everything, and we got to do it this way and that way, and they're just like, we're just gonna go in, film it, hope the cops don't show up, and okay, let's get it in one take, boom. So that I really like that. And speaking of good performances, like I said, Nicolas Cage and Elizabeth Shue absolutely killed it in these roles. They totally embodied these characters. They didn't overdo it. It felt authentic. It felt real. They felt like they felt like real people. Even though the like Ben, he was like such a severe alcoholic. Like, maybe in real life that would be a little bit far-fetched for someone to be that much of an alcoholic, even though they could be. Like, that's like, he's like the biggest alcoholic ever. Even with that being said, like, he was so believable, and he felt like these people felt like real people. And they it's like Shrek. Like, they had layers, they had depth. They weren't just some cookie cutter cardboard characters. Like, these were real people, So, yeah, shouts out Nicolas Cage, shouts out Elizabeth Shue. They absolutely killed it. And, it's not, like I said, they are kind of naturals. They did some of the stuff in one take. Like, they're good actors, but they put in a lot of work. Okay, so I was reading up on this movie, and Nicolas Cage and Elizabeth Shue did quite a bit of preparation. So Nicolas Cage, he went, like, before filming, he went on this trip to Dublin, and I believe it was for 2 weeks he stayed there, and he was just binge drinking. He was just drinking like crazy, and he had his buddy, you know, videotape him. So like he just wanted to like see how he spoke when he was extremely just plastered, so that he could get like the cadence down, so he could get the speech pattern down. And then he also visited a lot of hospitalized alcoholics, and just was talking to them, getting their story, interviewing them. And Elizabeth Shue, actually, she did pretty much the same thing, but with sex workers. She just spent a lot of time talking to sex workers, interviewing sex workers to really get the inside scoop. So that led to great performances, because they, not only are they just naturally good, they did their homework, which you have to do. They didn't phone it in by any means. Like, they went above and beyond. They did their homework, and it's important, because for these type of characters, you don't want to. You want it to be from like a respectful place, because these are lifestyles that people do have. These are circumstances people are in. These are problems that real people are dealing with, and you want to do it justice. You want to come at it from like a respectful angle. So I feel like the fact that they did their homework, it kind of led to the way that, like, as a viewer, you perceive it. It's not coming from a place like where they're just showcasing it, like, look at these crazy people. Like, it's coming from like an authentic place where they're really coming at these characters from a respectful manner, and they're not like hating on these lifestyles, basically. So yeah, the performances were great, the cinematography was great, the romance was fantastic, all of the gritty, real dark elements in the movie were fantastic. If you have not seen Leaving Las Vegas, this is an absolute must watch. Like, this is a fantastic movie. Like, it's amazing. So I would definitely recommend it. I don't know what streaming services it's on right now, but I rented it on Amazon. It wasn't that expensive. It was like $3.99. So yeah, I would say this is worth renting. This is worth buying. It's that good. So that has been my recommendation, and that has been my review of Leaving Las Vegas. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.